will be a vlog kind of day. We're gonna actually go to, I'm gonna take you along with me to go to where I go sometimes to visit a friend that I help out on occasion. A friend that I reconnected with a year ago. This video is going to be a little less about bushcraft and a little bit more about my kind of a look into who I am. And today we're gonna head to a friend's house in another state. It's one state over from me. It's gonna take about an hour or so to get there. And I'm gonna help him out. Somebody I reconnected with from my childhood, that when I grew up in Connecticut, and then had a couple of tragedies in my family, and we had to move away. And anyway, it's been about, I don't know, 20 or 30 years since I've contacted him, and then in the last year or so, we reconnected, and I go down and help him out whenever I can. So you're gonna go for a little trip. It's a 2-day trip, 2-3 days, depending on the weather. My work kind of requires me to be back on Monday if the weather's good, but the forecast is it's not so good on Monday, so I might make a long 3-day weekend on it, and I'm taking you along. And you're gonna see little snippets of here and there of the whole thing. So, all right, so buckle up, Buttercup. Okay, we'll be right back with you. As you can see, by the way, it's a gorgeous day for a road trip. Well, we started out pretty good, and then all of a sudden it became a roadblock. And there's all kinds of stuff going on coming down here. Must be an accident right around the corner. Something. Here's the thought anyway, that when you think, you know, you can leave at a certain time and you're gonna get to your destination at a certain time, it's not ever, hardly, gonna work as planned. And I usually do that too, but I figured today I was just gonna kind of relax, but you know, I didn't realize it was gonna be this slow. I'm at the deer camp where I'm gonna stay for the next couple of days. It's a little rough. It isn't rough to me. It might be rough to a lot of people. It actually is it's very, I don't know, I can't use the word luxurious because obviously it probably doesn't fit modern day definitions, but it's certainly not roughing it. But it is in I believe it is a 1937 Mack bus, passenger bus that used to be used in the New Haven transit system. It's now a deer camp, and it's got a couple of beds, a stove. It's got pretty much all the things you kind of need when you want to drop off the grid for a little bit. And I like it because it's just quiet and it's away from people, and it gives me a chance to hike and think and clear my head and just kind of, you know, do those things that you need to do sometimes in order to get your gyros recentered. So I'm going to be staying here a couple of days. I'm going to do some hiking, and I'll check in once in a while. And I'll show you a couple of places that I always, or almost always, visit while I'm down here. So stay tuned. Stop here. No trip to Connecticut would be complete without a quick jaunt across the river on the Hadlime Ferry. And that's what we're going to do today. So, let's go take a ride on the Hadlime Ferry. Pretty cool sights. One of the things that I do when I come down and visit is I try to help out wherever I can to do, you know, a little here, a little there, sort of earn my keep kind of thing. And I found that they made a bunch of piles of split wood in the woods as I was driving around checking the property. So I figured I would help out a little bit and use my pickup sort of as a wheelbarrow, and we'll take it back to the camp and stack it. Well, got that all done. All stacked, ready for hunting season. Today's lesson and kind of fun stuff is bulldozer lesson time. started to rain and it's gotten cold. But fortunately, as luck would have it, yay, got a little wood stove in here. And I've actually been in this place in the middle of winter. I've come down here I think 4 times this winter, and I stayed at various times in each of the months. And I have to say, in all honesty, it was very warm and cozy in here. It's just the wood stove, and you have to get up probably in the middle of the night and, you know, put a few sticks on, but it's really not that bad. And you have a sleeping bag. I have a 40-degree Coleman sleeping bag that's sort of my go-to sleeping bag, you know, when I need a quick place to sleep or whatever, and you don't want to bring linens or what have you. It works out really well. The cool thing about this bus is there's a history to it, and it's not, I said yesterday, because today is Sunday, that I like to come here because I like to get off the grid and like to think and yada yada yada, but which is all true. But the other true thing is my dad used to come here. My dad, who has died in 1973 actually. My dad was quite a bit older than my mom, so when I was, you know, say 6 years old, and what was I, 6? I was 6 probably in 1965-ish, and he was 65 as well. So if he was alive today, considering it's 2016, he'd be 116 years old. Yeah, wrap your head around that. But, you know, I have some really good memories of him, and one cool thing is, one of the memories I have is this camp. This camp, which was a friend of his, owned by a friend of his, whose son is now that I've reconnected with. Anyway, this camp used to be visited by my dad and his brother and my friend's father, and you know, the whole gamut of hunting buddies. And they probably didn't do as much hunting up here as they did play cards and drink and cavort and tell stories, which was huge. It was like a huge storytelling extravaganza here around the campfire in the middle of winter with the wood stove going, etc. So that's one of the reasons I come here too. You know, I'm not going to get all goofy about it and say, oh, I hear my father's voice in here. But the cool thing is, this summer when I walked in here, and my friend was here with someone who was a friend of my dad's, who I never met before. When I walked through this door, the guy looked at me and said, "Oh my God, you look just like your dad." And I sat down in a chair. I'll show you the chair. That's the chair. I sat down in the chair, and this guy said, "And that's exactly where your dad used to sit." And I don't know why that was just so, you know, it was like, you know, wow. You know, I just, you know, where do you go with that? You know, and then he would tell me stories about my dad, and then I didn't have a lot of that. So it's very cool to reconnect sometimes. And you'd be surprised, not to get all psycho goofy about it, but you'd be surprised what it does to the cobwebs. You know, it straightens things out. It's little things like that that kind of get you to move on and gets, you know, come on, we got things we got to do here. So anyway, I thought I would share that with you while the fire was going. All right, so we'll do some more later. Well, there you have it. Another a weekend in the life of me. I hope you like the vlog, and I hope you subscribe and check out the vlogs later. We'll have a special playlist just for that, as it may or may not pertain to bushcraft. But thanks for watching, and stay safe. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.